And I would want all of us treat other people the way you want to be treated. And at the end of the day, every dog has its day. Some people have had it because of not being fair to others. And what can we do to him? It is to emulate him, to do what he used to want. For example, Oulanyah came up in 2001 when we had induction, which we haven't been able to have. And I appeal to you, if you want to remember Oulanyah, let's have an induction so that this. We are lucky that we still have good Ugandans. Honorable Ben Wacha, Mao, Winnie Byanyima, and many others, Okero. These people can take us through. They will take us through the etiquette and decorum of Parliament. I appeal to you members that this gentleman is not the usual Ugandan. Some of you trade on simple, trivial things, but he had the bigger things. And he said, quality of debate. And you will not get a good quality of debate unless you have been inducted. There are some senior people believe that we are all equal. We are not. There are some better people in the areas. It's something he told to me. Byanyima never come from one sectional committee to another, remain in one and be a specialist. Don't jump from one to another, because there is life after Parliament. So that after Parliament, after being in the Committee of Agriculture, you will be an expert, although you could not have qualifications. But people jump from one committee to another one. He was in 2 committees, legal and parliamentary, and rules and procedure, and he excelled. So I appeal to you, Madam Speaker, that spare some time and money, let these members who are very willing to and willing to run, so that they can be taken through an induction, and we become one, and unity of this Parliament should be something that we should pay him. May he so rest in eternal peace. I thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. And remember, as I said at the beginning, as Parliament of Uganda, we had to forego a number of programs in the name of trying to save the life of our leader. And on that note, we are going to have orientation in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time we'll have orientation, now that we have fought the fight which we have lost. Kanungu. Mama Mavengina, then Kanungu.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to apologize our great son, our great leader who is lying before us. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I got to know the late Honorable Jacob Oulanyah in 1991, not in the university, as others have already said, but I was invited by my sister to come and cook for their graduation party. And my sister is the mother of Frank Nigel Utembi, who is the director of the Law Development Center. In 1991, the 4 of them graduated together. That is the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah, Frank Nigel Utembi, Frank Olok Asabasi, and Honorable Norbert Mao. And so I was selected to be their chief cook, while my sister accompanied them to Makerere. So I did my best. I cooked very nicely. After graduation, they all came to Bukoto, and we enjoyed the celebration together with them. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, in the 6th Parliament, that is 1996, when I joined the Parliament of Uganda, the late Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah and his late wife Dorothy used to attend the same fellowship with me in Fairway Hotel, and General Eli Tumwine was a member of that fellowship, Mama Grace Kiria was a member of that fellowship, and Honorable Tim Luanga, Honorable Tim Kruta, and Paul Chama, to mention but a few. We used to pray together, and that is how I got to know Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah, as our Vice Chairperson for NRM Northern Uganda, did a lot of work He mobilized tirelessly for NRM. He mobilized tirelessly for all of us. That is how, in northern Uganda, majority of the members of parliament came on NRM ticket. It was because of the effort of Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. His Excellency the President, for the first time, got very overwhelming support in northern Uganda because of the tireless effort of Right Jacob Oulanyah. Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah, when he was meeting us in Arua for the last time of the last leg of the mobilization, he advised all of us and said we should not allow NRM party to slip again because we had gone a very long way. He said we as cadres must always be available to do the work of NRM, using our own resources, sacrificing our time and effort to put our party to go ahead. Right Honorable did a lot of work, and I want to thank His Excellency the President and all of you, Madam Speaker, are not ours. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My condolences to His Excellency the President of Uganda, to you, Honorable Right Speaker, and all members in this House. I want to first thank God and the people of Kanungu who gave me an opportunity to be part of 11th Parliament, where I met Jacob Oulanyah. I'm delighted to have met Jacob Oulanyah. He was such a professional force in this House and in Uganda, and to be part of his mobilization team, which saw him to become our Speaker of the 11th Parliament. Every time I met Honorable Right Jacob Oulanyah in this Parliament, he would stop and call me and say, thank you for being who you are. People underestimate your capacity, and he told me, and he always encouraged me, never to change who I am because I'm in this Parliament. He always say, you are stronger than people look at you. I pray his legacy continues with such an impeccable reputation, and I pray that God gives you comfort where you are. You have hiked your best mountain, and I pray that you sleep well. My prayers and condolences from the people of Kanungu. Rest well, Jacob Oulanyah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And honorable colleagues.
Correct me, you're going to speak. You like complaining.
Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to send my condolences and those of the people of Kampala Central for the loss of a gallant soldier of this country. The Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah has a number of attributes well known to most of us. For those that were in contest with him and also worked with him, we have a lot of stories to tell. In 2016, myself was involved in a contest for deputy speakership with the late. He's someone worth a contest. You could never hear any single word of negativity coming out of him or of blackmail. He's a man, even after his victory, he extended his hand towards me and called me into his office. And he said, Mohammed, this is our office. We are all vying for this office. Whatever you need from me, you'll get it. Whenever he would get trips, he would extend to me invitations and say, brother, if you want to go with me, it's available. Then it was your discretion. The last trip we shared together with the late was in 2020 when we went to Montpellier in France And then he was sourcing for cheaper energy, cheap and clean energy. And he had identified a place, Right Honorable Speaker, where to put solar panels and generate over 100 megawatts of power for this country. Oulanyah, the late today, you'll be known as a unifier, as a patriotic gentleman, as a great sportsman, but as someone who used to say no and yes. Where he meant no, Right Honorable Speaker, as I wind up, his no was no, and his yes was yes. He used to address me in this house as our landlord. So, Right Honorable Speaker, as the landlord, please, remember to accord me a second. He used to say, landlord, please say something. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, as Oulanyah departs, we must sympathize with his family. The late father, no parent would like to look into the grave of his son. The children, and I would like to applaud you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the path you set, that we should carry on the responsibility of taking care of the children of the late, and the trust fund for education of the children, because that is the best we can reward with a gentleman of his character in the life and the hereafter. May your soul rest in eternal peace, Right Honorable. You are such a great man and a leader.
Thank you, landlord. The house, kindly bear with me, just know that we are balancing the house. And Honorable Chivumbi, but before he speaks, Honorable Oulanyah is survived with the 8 children. As Parliament, let's accept within ourselves that we take responsibility of those 8 children. If you really love the Oulanyah, those become children of Parliament of Uganda. Let's take responsibility of that. Haj.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to associate myself.
Members, a kind reminder, the body will sleep here. Kindly join us to stay overnight with the body.
Right Honorable Speaker, I join the rest of my colleagues to pay tribute to our mentor, our brother, and a gallant son of this country. For us to say that Honorable Oulanyah died too soon can only be a true notion. Right Honorable Oulanyah, I think, in my humble view, the country was yet to see the finest Oulanyah, because we are yet to see him as the head of this institution, and I think he was well primed to serve this country to the best of his ability. But in Oulanyah, we learn a few things. Right Honorable Speaker, I've seen you and the Deputy Speaker sending us to harmonize on contentious issues. That is the legacy of Honorable Oulanyah. He started that culture, not on one or two occasions. When matters are so contentious, he would say, can you retreat and find and establish a common ground? And that is something we need to carry forward as an institution. I think it will be in his honor. 2, it also tells us that while we are in public life, those of us who have spent a little bit of our whole life in public life, there are things that we should always care about. Like Honorable Mao, Honorable Oulanyah, like some of us started politics at a youthful age. And while you do that, you can recall that could have affected his life was an injury he got as a student leader. He wasn't demonstrating to be in the university. He was there on that the poorest of the poor can still access university. It's because of that demonstration that we still have government sponsorship in public universities. Government had decided to ensure that public education should be privately sponsored. I'd like to honor them and commit that we shall continue with the fight, and that we shall have a better country, and we shall struggle for Uganda to stand as a nation. That is something we owe this country. It was put together by colonialists. Let us avoid hibernating in our own tribe. I'm a chairperson of Buganda Caucus. I can only justify my stay as a chairperson by bringing Uganda to Uganda, not taking Uganda out of Uganda.
Thank you, Honorable Mwanga. In the public gallery, we have Honorable Nancy Marona, former Member of Parliament, Honorable Nusra Tiperu, former Member of Yala and a current Ambassador of Turkey. You're most welcome. Honorable Grace Bagaya, former Member of Parliament of Nakasongola, welcome. Honorable Amoit Mariam, former Member of Parliament. Honorable Kataike Sara, you're welcome. Honorable Captain John Emily Etekat, former MP, you're most welcome. Honorable Anifa Kaoya, Honorable Anifa Den Kalule.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I do also stand here to condole with the rest of the family, relatives, and the President and the country at large at the loss of our dear Speaker, Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. Right Honorable Speaker, as they have said, I'm one of the people in this house, especially the female ladies, that has been privileged to be here for some time. So I have known the late Right Honorable Jacobo as a mentor, and I know members, our colleagues, the new ones, will definitely miss his mentorship. But I'm happy that we got the Right Honorable Speaker and the Deputy Speaker who have been privileged to his mentorship. Honorable late Jacobo Oulanyah, his humor, especially in this house when it came to new members of Parliament, was unmatchable. He would encourage us always to be conversant with the rules of procedure. Even if you stood up and you are irrelevant in your presentation, he would be kind and polite enough to say, allow the member to deliver his maiden speech. He would not embarrass anybody. That's how he built confidence in all of us. He encouraged us to stand here and ensure that you have the right to talk, whether what you are talking is meaningful, as long as you have talked. And the next time we'll call you and say, this is how things are done. Other than confidence building, he had wanted all of us in this Parliament to balance the old, the new, those who have been here for a long time like me, and those who came for the first time, to show their capacity and capability while they are people's representatives. We ensured that we accorded each and all of us time, and he had time for us in the office. And I want to assure you, Right Honorable Speaker, the few months you have been here, you are definitely showed that he mentored you. Personally, I was touched. I was sworn in May 2021, and I was competing for the highest position on the African continent as a Vice President for all Pan-African parliaments on the African continent. I was sponsored by the Speaker then, and Parliament and government, and I went. I reached in Pan-African Parliament, I was sworn in for second time. As I was doing my last time, I was called here to become a minister. I was sworn in a third time. When I met him, he said, you see, patience pays. You were struggling, you have been sworn in 3 times than me, your speaker. He says, how do you feel? I said, Right Honorable Speaker, patience of course pays, because God's ways is not our ways. My friend, my mentor, may your soul rest in eternal peace.
Flavia.
Thank you very much, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. Today I stand here to remember the late Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Oulanyah as a man who was a huge advocate for women empowerment. In his words, he said, if a girl, right from her first 1,000 days of life, if a girl is given all resources, right from her first 1,000 days of life, that girl will grow up to challenge patriarchy and all the powers wielded against her. Right Honorable Speaker, as we stand here today, we have so many issues that battle and fight. The backlash against women's empowerment is real in this country. But I am glad to say that the Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah, who is lying here with us, recognized that women's economic empowerment was not only the right thing to do, but also the core development and smart objective in this country. And it is no wonder, no surprising, that he was educating a number of girls across the country. So with that women's advancement on gender equality, I call upon this august House to once again revamp and reopen the conversation on the marriage and divorce bill in this country, so that we can be able to help women and girls out there. Finally, the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah was a person that I was looking forward so much to learning from, because he was a mentor in his speeches, in his plenary, when he was presiding over plenary. He mentored us, especially the new MPs, and protected us against senior colleagues bullying us as we were making our speech plenary. So I learned a lot from him, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
The senior member who was bullying the members, Honorable Segona. Then we have Minister of Lands, Northern Uganda, Foreign Affairs.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, in my history, bullying stopped in 1991 when I was in Senior 1 and a student was killed in Namiryango. So for the record, I am a peacemaker and I do not encourage bullying. Colleagues, we congregate today to celebrate the life of our brother because it is worth our celebration. We are not here to celebrate the life of Lokori Jacob Oulanyah, who I fondly refer to as Ladit, because we are doing a ceremony. But we are doing this as something we owe a man of his personality. Ladit Jacob Oulanyah is somebody I knew when I was in high school. I was first attracted to his brain when he handled the case of Candida Lakony, the woman who had been mistreated in a barracks. I admired Jacob as a defense lawyer. At that time, I had nursed ambitions of being a lawyer, and I can say that the ambition was reactivated by the cross-examination of Jacob Oulanyah as against some lieutenant who had been pictured doing the abominable act on that lady. While I was in Mackay as Speaker of Mackay Law Society,
I was tasked to organize a symposium at which I invited the Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. He came and spoke to us. Right Honorable Speaker, I think someone was unfairly getting me off the microphone, having said I'm senior and I've spoken for long. And since that time, we became friends, and our name for each other was Ladit, as you have witnessed. And Ladit, amongst us, the Luo, is a friend. I have been telling people that I have very close roots from Coach Goma in Nwaya. And I always teased him that I am more Luo than him. The Honorable Ladit Jacob Oulanyah was an intelligent man, and it is such people that we need to lead this country. We both agreed that this country does not need strong men, but intelligent, compassionate, and caring leaders. In him, we have missed that kind of leader. I said we are not mourning because he has carried the cross. He has fought his fight and won the battle. He's therefore worth our celebration. Before I conclude, because we have very limited time, permit me, Right Honorable Speaker, to bring you condolences and the family, first of course from the people of Busiro County East, but more officially from the Afro-Pac leaders, where I represent this country as Vice Chairman of the Association of African Chairpersons for Public Accounts Committees, from the sub-regional network of AirPac, that is the East Africa, the SADC, which is the South African region, and WAPAC, as you know, the West African region, who have jointly conveyed condolences to you, Right Honorable Speaker, to this Parliament, and to the family of the late Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. Finally, if there is nothing we can get from the passing of the Honorable Oulanyah, let us get one thing: to be united as a country. Jacob Oulanyah told us one day that when you enter a public office, your journey out of that public office begins. If only we could understand that, Uganda would be, and I believe will be, a better place for us and for our children and generations in the future. I join the Vice President in agreeing that this is a motion worth our support, and I support the motion without reservation. I thank you, and may my brother rest in eternal peace.
Thank you so much, Honorable Segona, the senior bully.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand here to support the motion by Her Excellency the Vice President, which was supported by all members of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, condolences to you, the Speaker of Parliament, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, and Ugandans at large. Right Honorable Speaker, the leader lying before us has been a unique leader. The Jacob Oulanyah I knew was a man who would always listen to whoever went to his office. He was there to guide us. He was there to encourage us. And he was there to always support us in the course of our work. Right Honorable Speaker, one thing I remember about Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah, he was a patron of the Children's Forum. I was an executive member of that forum. He used to support matters to do with children. And no wonder that even practically he has been helping a number of children by educating them. He helped us a lot in passing the bill on child sacrifice, the amendment on Children's Act. He was a brain behind who would always encourage members, meet them, give us views, and also lobbied most of you members to enable us have those bills passed in Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable
Honourable Grace.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and my condolence goes to you, goes to His Excellency the President, goes to the people of Northern Uganda. We have lost a great icon of peace and unity, one who loves people. That's why he is always referred to as Dano Padano, a man of the people. As far as unity is concerned, if you go to his home, where you will be on Friday, he has built 2 churches, a Catholic church on one side, a Protestant church on another side, in a distance of less than 100 meters, meaning that even in religion, we can be united. He's a great human rights activist, always fronting the girl child and women's empowerment. We worked with him in Northern Uganda. During the campaigns, he was very visible, always arriving at campaign venues in style, with energy, singing or blowing his horn, dancing. He was a great man of peace. He lived a holistic life. He visited the whole of Northern Uganda when we were consulting to see if we can get NUSA 4, because poverty was still prevalent in Northern Uganda. And he always said, we can do it differently. We can always do it differently. And I want to thank the government, the cabinet, that it has allowed NUSA 4 to take root. He's always in peace. When you meet him, he's welcoming. He's saying thank you. He's saying I'm sorry. He's saying excellent. I remember when I gave my report, when I was chair of the Public Service and Local Government, he told me, excellent report. And you feel good that you can be appreciated by a leader. Under the leadership of Her Excellency the Vice President, we are mobilizing funds which we shall give to the education fund, and we shall do it in time. He preached in many of his occasions at the last moment, and he told us, leaders of Northern Uganda, be as busy as a bee, make honey which will bring people together. Don't be as busy as a fly which will bring filth. And so we take it from him that we shall follow his footsteps. Right Honorable, rest in peace for God and my country.
Thank you. Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs, then a woman MP of Omoro. Members, you're going to speak.
Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Oulanyah.
You have a procedure matter?
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It is true that in the African culture, the in-laws speak last. And I've looked at the composition of this parliament and the composition of Uganda as well. All regions have been well represented, apart from the region of the in-laws. So could it be procedure right that after the Honourable Minister is done, the in-laws also have something to say? Thank you.
In the African culture, in-laws speak last. And we will appreciate you for giving us a woman from Bogisu. And the senior in-law is seated next to Honorable Mbayo. Senior in-law, you will speak last, and we'll thank you for giving us a wife. And indeed, Honorable Oulanyah was a nationalist. He was born of Ulango, domiciled in Acholi, married in Bugisu. So, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah. Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah. Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah. Madam Speaker, Oulanyah is not responding anymore. Oulanyah the voice will not be heard in this house. Oulanyah will not respond to calls of his name. Oulanyah lies in the south, having left us. I have spoken so much about Oulanyah, just like you said that the other day that you will not cry anymore about Oulanyah. Madam Speaker, I don't want to speak much to give opportunity for others. But I just want to pick one thing and then extend my appreciations. Oulanyah was born in Acholi, but Oulanyah was beyond being an Acholi. Beyond. By the time Oulanyah died, Oulanyah was Teso, Langi, you name it. Even he was a Zambian, a Kenyan, a European, everywhere. There is nobody that I've come across in my life for 63 years in this world, 62 in this world, whom I've come across like Jacob Oulanyah. Oulanyah, in all pieces, was not a relative of mine. Not a relative in iota, not a relative of mine. But if Oulanyah has daughters, but I could not even allow my son to think of marrying Oulanyah's family. Because we were that close. We were like relatives. And I would feel it embarrassing that my children could marry, or I could marry into Oulanyah's family. He was that character who was above everything. When I met Oulanyah, in the hospital, visited Oulanyah in Dubai hospital, and Oulanyah would not tell us his challenges. I told Oulanyah, you are no more Oulanyah. You are the property of the people of Uganda. You belong to the world. You have a responsibility to them. And that's what Oulanyah was by the time I died. I want to just thank God. I want to thank God for giving us this wonderful man, wonderful brother, giving his children a wonderful father, giving his father a wonderful son. I want to thank God for giving this parliament Jacob Oulanyah during our lifetime. I am glad that God, in his wisdom, gave me to be born at a time and be in this parliament at a time when Oulanyah was in this parliament. I think I would have regretted if ever I came to parliament after Oulanyah was dead in this parliament. And those who will come after us will have missed the opportunity to have been served by a man of all men, a giant of all giants. I want to thank God for the life of Oulanyah. I want to thank his father for the life of Oulanyah. I want to thank him, Madam Speaker, for the life of Oulanyah. I want to thank the President of the Republic of Uganda, Oulanyah. Colleagues, friends, members of parliament, I want to thank every single one of you for what love you have shown for Oulanyah, for what respect you showed for Oulanyah. I want to thank this country, those who stood by the roadside when Oulanyah came to this country, those who spoke, cried in their houses, those who never even met Oulanyah, but they're shedding tears out there, shedding tears. But just having watched this man on television, see his behavior, I wish my father was like that. I want to grow up and be like that man. I want to thank every single one of you. God bless every single one of you. Every single one of you in your capacities for being so generous to this wonderful son of our brother that God gave us. Madam Speaker, give me the opportunity to thank the governments of different countries, especially the United States government. I want to thank the U.S. ambassador and the deputy U.S. ambassador for their going out of their way, really going out of their way, beyond their duty and obligation, to process expeditiously matters that related to Oulanyah being able to go to Seattle. Their visas, special clearance for the aircrafts, special clearance for the delegation, special clearance for the crew. The United States.
Woman Member of Parliament.
Right Honorable Speaker and dear colleagues, I want to fully associate myself to the motion that was raised by the Vice President, seconded by the Prime Minister. Madam Speaker,